friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and maybe you heard, but today Disney had a shareholders meeting. And in that shareholders meeting, a lot of stuff was announced, but was interesting, and the thing that is making the most news right now are two questions that were asked and answered in a fashion by Bob Chapek. Now, Bob Chapek is the current CEO of Disney. He is like if the father from Mortis had a company, he would be Bob Chapek. And then, you've got your subsidiaries, Lucasfilm, Marvel, and all the other ones that has their own head, right? They're all that other stuff. And there were two questions that Bob Chapek answered, and I'm going to play them for you. I have taken out the names of the people who've asked the question, but I want you to hear the question and hear his answer, because one of the things that I want everyone to know is it's one thing to hear from someone like a talking head like me, someone who's interested, someone who's passionate about this stuff, but it's a totally different thing to hear it from the source's mouth or the horse's mouth or whatever you want to call Bob Chapek. Now, I will say, regardless of what you feel about this, he was very strategic in his answers. Now, first two questions, again, I've tried to take out the names, and I have actually adjusted the voice of the questioner to protect identity. So let's listen to it now.
Hi there. It's clear that there's a new blacklist punishing conservatives in the entertainment industry. Disney Plus actors Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano tweeted similar analogies of current political events to Nazi Germany, and only Carano, who is considered conservative, was fired from the Mandalorian. Regarding Disney and a blacklist, this is the way?
Okay, before we go on, I do want to say we have a reaction from who is this in? Yeah, we have a reaction to the question before we hit the answer. Let's go to the reaction. All right, now let's go to the tape. Let's hear Bob Chapek's answer. So essentially, he says, "Hey, look, we hear there's a blacklist about with amongst conservative thinkers, actors, professionals, artists in the industry. This is the way." So here's Bob Chapek's answer.
Well, thank you for your question. I don't really see Disney as characterizing itself as left-leaning or right-leaning, yet instead standing for values that are universal, values of respect, values of decency, values of integrity, and values of inclusion. And we seek to have not only how we operate, but the content that we make reflective of the rich diversity of the world that we live in. And I think that's a world that we all should live in harmony and peace. Thank you for your question. Next question, please.
Okay, so that is an unedited, unaltered view of Bob Chapek. Now, it is a very diplomatic response without actually answering the question, right? He's saying, look, we're not left, we're not right. And you can argue that, but officially, Disney does not have a left or right stance. They are a business, right? And as a business, they're capitalists. They're opportunists at every sense of the word. But they officially don't have a left or right stance. They might have left or right leanings, and let's face it, they have probably left leanings when it comes to certain issues, and that's fine. That's their prerogative as a company. But he doesn't necessarily answer the question. Now, I will say, I agree. I think we should all be good to each other. We should all live and strive to live in a wonderful utopian society. Utopian, not necessarily, but we should be good to people. I get it. I agree. Yes. Not sure that that's what's being done one way or the other, but I do think that we should treat people with respect, especially those who we disagree with. I think in a world where there's so much anger and hate right now, we should absolutely show respect to those people that we disagree with. Now, here's the follow-up question. So let's listen to the follow-up question specifically regarding to Kathleen Kennedy.
Greetings and salutations. Are you guys looking at firing Kathleen Kennedy or asking her to resign and promote somebody like Filoni or Favreau or both as a co-counsel?
Okay, question is, are you going to fire Kathleen Kennedy and are you going to promote someone like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni as like a co-counsel to take her place? Okay, Now, for those of you who don't know, Kathleen Kennedy's contract is actually up, I believe, in September of this year. And there have been a lot of rumors that she's going to be gone before that. Now, again, rumor has it that she doesn't have artistic license, artistic oversight of the shows that are going on, with the exception of the TV show The Acolyte. But those are all rumors, right? Now, here's Chapek's response.
Thank you for your question, George. We've been absolutely thrilled that we can have the kind of creative talent in our company, the likes of Kathleen Kennedy, to run Lucas. And we look forward to having Kathy directing the activities of the entire Lucasfilm organization for many years to come. Thank you for your question. Next question, please.
Okay, so that's that again, unedited. I mean, there was definitely a lot of people who were really excited to hear both of those questions asked. Now, what's important to remember is that there are, I don't know how many millions of shares are out there for Disney. There are probably hundreds of thousands, if not tens of thousands, of people who are shareholders for the Star Wars for Disney. Right now, most of those shares are going to be owned corporately. Most of those shares are going to be owned within smaller hands, right? So corporately, bigger names, bigger titles, probably within the Disney family. I'm sure they still have quite a bit themselves. But what's interesting here is that during this interview, there were probably about 12 questions at the most, 10 questions probably at the most. I could go back and count, but I don't really want to. And of those questions, 2 of them addressed the issue of Kathleen Kennedy and The Mandalorian. Now, one of the issues that does worry me, though, is if we jump over to Del Rey Books. So Star Wars Books, Del Rey Star Wars is one of the book companies that produces the Star Wars books. They announced just today, that the Mandalorian novel that was supposed to come out in November of 2021, which I do believe was actually a pushback date from this last fall. I did believe when they first announced it, I believe it was last year. I think that it was set for last fall. I went ahead and pre-ordered it last fall. I was really excited. And then they're like, no, it's next fall. They said, look, due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing the Mandalorian original novel at this time, as the story continues to unfold on screen. Now, partially, I feel like this means as the story continues to unfold behind the scenes. I think, for the sheer fact that this is most likely still written somewhere. There's a script out there that's done, or maybe in the final stages of being done. They did say that it's not a problem with Adam Christopher, the writer. It says in a follow-up tweet, I think it was immediately after, it says, "We love working with author Adam Christopher and are already working with him on a different book. We're excited to share details with you in the future." This is awesome, wonderful. So it's not an issue with the author, it's an issue with the book, right? And they say as much here. Additionally, with that though, if you jump over to DK Books US, so DK Books was the group that was doing the Mandalorian visual dictionary. They say, due to the ever-expanding world of The Mandalorian, we will no longer be publishing the Mandalorian Ultimate Visual Guide at this time, as the story continues to unfold. The exact same tweet, right? It's nothing different than what we saw over here at Del Rey. Now, again, these types of things are going to come directly from the people at top, right? If they're going to change this, if they're going to make connections or change things to The Mandalorian, then Del Rey and DK Books are not going to be the ones that make that choice. This is someone who's coming. This decision is coming from the people above, the people up above, right? And so I wonder and I worry for the sake of The Mandalorian, considering that we do know that the Book of Boba Fett's coming out. They are working on it. They've already been shooting it. So Probably in a couple of months, it'll go to post-production and so on and so forth. That doesn't have any problems that we've heard of so far. But there have been numerous problems with The Mandalorian for Season 3. And a lot of things have been talking about. Now, Pedro Pascal is going to another show. And they did say, I think it was towards the end of the series, or the season, hopefully not the series, Season 2, they did say that he will be taking a step back, doing more voiceover work. And the stuff in the previous summer, there was a lot of rumors about problems on set with Pedro Pascal. It's a very interesting time to be a Star Wars fan. Is the Star Wars community dead? No, I don't think that it is. I don't think that it's on its way out at all. I think that this is maybe a bump in the road. I'm curious to see what comes next. The focus on this direct to consumer stuff, I love and am excited about, and hopefully they continue to make good stories here in the future. So we'll see. I don't know, guys. What are your thoughts on this? What are your reactions to this? I'm sure I'm one voice in the sea of voices that is just talking about this. But let me know what you guys think. Check out the links in the section below. As I say, I love the Del Rey books. I love the way the Star Wars books have played out so far. I did just finish Alphabet Squadron's series finale, trilogy finale, Victory's Prize. It was phenomenal, guys. It was really, really well done. And it shows you that Star Wars can still tell a good story. But what do you guys think about all of this that's going on? Leave a comment in the section below. Like, subscribe, share, click that bell button to be notified anytime a post is updated or I post something. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, my friends, smile. Stay nerdy.